Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Let's Get Real. You're listening to Brenda
and Ashley, and today we're switching things up a bit. We're actually not together right now, so we're recording this kind of over the phone. We had to make things work because of social distancing.
Yeah, so currently I'm at my house and Ashley's at hers. So this is the first time we're kind of recording on different ends. So hopefully it goes well.
Yep. So just in case you guys are not already practicing social distancing and all that stuff, I know you've been hearing about corona every fucking hour. But guys, stay in your houses, don't go see people, stay self-isolated, and everything will be a-okay.
Yes, hopefully in a couple of weeks this will all be behind us and we can go back to our normal routines. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, so today we're going to be talking about dating because I know you guys have heard enough about the virus, so we're going to jump right into it. So we're talking about dating, first dates, everything you need to know.
Yes. So we have a couple questions we're going to be asking each other. This is more so for people who are not too sure about their first dates or have questions about first dates. Hopefully this can guide you and help you through that. So the first question, do you want to start it off, Ashley?
Yeah, so the first question I'm going to ask Brenda, and it is, would you ever ask a guy on a first date?
I would. I think it could be either a guy asking a girl on a first date or a girl asking a guy on a first date. Like, it really depends. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with a woman asking a guy on a first date, but usually it is the guy, but I don't like.
But not so much do you think there's anything wrong with it. It's more like, would you do it? Would you do it?
I would.
Have you done it? Yeah?
I would. I don't think I have done it because I feel like every time I do go on a date, like it's usually the guy asking me. No. But I mean, I would do it. Yeah, I wouldn't have shame in being like, no.
I mean, I guess we probably know I wouldn't. I just feel like if a man wants to see me, he'll see me. He'll make it happen. But like, I think that once you're in deeper with the person, like if you're kind of getting to be, on the road to dating, I think, yeah, I'd be like, yeah, let's hang out. But I wouldn't be like, will you go on a date with me? Like, can I take you on a date? Like, I would never do that. Hell no.
Interesting. I would, but that's just me. How about, what are your thoughts when you don't know if you're on a first date? Like, how do you know? How do you distinguish that?
It's my biggest turnoff, first of all. It's actually my biggest turnoff. If I don't know that we're on a date, it's not a date in my mind. Like, to me, we're just friends and we're hanging out. I don't care if it's a date in your mind. Yeah, you need to tell me it's a date because if you're not even man enough to be like, I want to take you on a date and you fucking play it off as like, let's hang out, let's catch up. Like, no, that's not a date to me. Because I've had situations where like the guys haven't asked me on dates, but in the future they'll refer to it as like the date, our date. And I'm like, what date? What are you talking about? But my thoughts when I don't know is just like, it's pretty much, if I'm unsure, I don't overthink it. I just tell myself we're friends and we're hanging out. So I know that sometimes it's hard to know if it's a date or not because not all men are specific and clear about it. So this is for people who need to have like that clarity. So these are a few points that we've come up with on how you can kind of look out for keys that it's probably a date that you're on and not just going out as friends.
So what classifies something as a first date?
So for me, my main point is obviously like what I just said. You need to tell me it's a date. If you tell me it's a date, then I know. If you don't, then I'm going to be guessing and I don't have time for that. So in my mind, it's not. So yeah, if he uses the word date, then it's a date. It's that simple. What about you?
Yeah, I agree with that. I think also one thing would be if he insists on paying. So not saying that he has to pay. But, like, if he, offers, like, oh, let me pay for this, like, yeah. I asked you to come out, like, that way you know that was their intention is to, like, take you out on a date. Not saying that, again, he has to pay for it, but at least he offered, which means, like, there's more there than just a casual outing.
Yeah, and, like, this is something that guys don't really do for, like, their friends, obviously, unless it's, like, a special occasion. So if they're paying, then that says a lot. One for me is like I really take in their actions and if their actions are more than friendly. So I mean, if you're going on a date with someone who's your friend, then you'll notice the difference. Or if it's just like a first date with someone new, if they're going out of their way to like be a little bit affectionate, open the door, touch your thigh, touch your hand, you know what I mean? Like they're a little more touchy, they're just more than friendly. They tell you look beautiful. Yeah. They compliment you. Like those are really big things because a guy doesn't really do that unless he has like a little motive behind it most times, to be honest.
Yeah, agreed. I think another thing too would be like if they do a follow up after the date. So basically,
Mm-hmm.
like you guys went out on a date, and then he messages you after saying like, I had a really good time. I enjoyed, your
Yeah, that's
company, and like
huge.
things like that. Like something that shows that it went well, and that there's kind of a sign that he's wanting to go on a second date or on another date.
Do you like those texts? Like, do you wait for them and be like, okay, good, you sent me like the follow up, or what do you think of those?
Yeah, I think that they're good because it reassures you that the feeling was mutual. Like,
Yeah, that's
not
true.
only is it something you're feeling, but they're feeling too. So I think those are good. It's kind of like when you go on an interview, it's kind
Yeah.
of like not necessarily obligated, but it looks good when you do that follow up
Yeah, I
email.
agree. Yeah. It makes you kind of realize, okay, so they did have a good time because they didn't have to say that. Like, they can just not
Yeah.
say that. Yeah, that's true. Another good thing to look out for is if you notice that they're on their best behavior. So this goes more for people that are friends and transition into dating. So they're just like really, really like, for example, nice to the waitress, nicer than usual. Their voice changes a bit. They don't talk about certain things. Do you know what I mean? So like they're very like proper, and you could tell they're
Yeah.
trying to like eat nice in front of you and avoid cussing and stuff like that. Like they're just on their best behavior trying to impress you.
Yeah, I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, when you're on a date, you kind of want to impress that other person. So you're
Yeah.
trying to, look good, do well.
Like super nice
Yeah,
to the
I can see that.
waitress. Like you just like better than usual.
Yeah. I think another thing too would be if the person starts to get more personal during the date. So like
Mm-hmm.
they ask questions that are more like, future like plans or things you have in mind. Like, do you like kids, or what
Yeah.
are you studying, or things that
Yeah.
makes that person know they want to get to know you on a more personal level.
Mm-hmm.
Things that can affect your future together, or things that they want to know in terms of like the future with you.
Yeah.
So I think
Like,
that's
yeah. A friend's not
I
going to
think that's a
ask you
good.
if you want to get married or if you want to have kids. Like a guy that wants to pursue you is going to ask you that.
Yeah, agreed.
So what do
Agreed.
you think of like how you should dress on the first date? Do you think that you should do like a full beat natural makeup? Like do you wear heels? Like what do you do, for example, on a first date? And what's appropriate?
To be honest, like I think to each their own. Yeah, like obviously you want to look cute, do your
Mm-hmm.
makeup, but like for me, for instance, like I don't like to be too like out of the ordinary, because then
Yeah.
too, for me, the way I think is, it if I'm gonna go out and like do my hair, do my makeup, wear heels, wear a dress, it's like this is what they're expecting on a regular basis, and this is
Mm-hmm.
not who I am. So I like to keep it cute but also keep it natural. So I would probably go with more of a natural look, but something that obviously looks like, I put in the effort, I'm
Yeah.
trying to like look good for you. So, my makeup, wear something cute, something, like I wouldn't wear on a usual day, but something that also feels comfortable.
Mm-hmm. What about heels? Do you do
So,
heels?
no, I don't really do heels
You don't
unless
wear
they're like
heels
boot
though in
heels.
general, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I only do really boot heels because I'm not one to like walk in heels. That's
True,
just not
true.
me.
I don't wear heels personally because I'm tall, so I just like for a first date, I just don't want to feel weird if I'm like taller than the guy, and that probably won't happen again. Like that's like if you're just meeting them, right?
Yeah.
For me, I like to look good. I definitely like to look good. Like I will look nicer than usual, but makeup wise, like I don't want to do it all in one night. Like you don't want to go to the date and show up a 10 out of 10. Like what? So what about if he takes you somewhere really nice, or what about if you have an anniversary? Then what? You've already shown him your 10 out of 10. Like you want to do like a
Exactly.
7 out of 10. You want to look good. You want to look better than usual, but you also don't want to give it all away in one date. So I usually wear something really cute, something girly. I usually wear something girly, and my makeup, I've never worn foundation on like a first date. I usually just do like a little bit of blush, some mascara, eyeliner, something subtle. But like again, what Brenda was saying, like it's really what you're comfortable with. If you like to do full glam every single day and that's who you are, then do full glam on your first date. Like it doesn't matter, whatever you like. But that's what we do.
Yeah. All right. And how about how do you think one should act on the first date?
I mean, it sounds corny, but like be yourself. I think like
Agreed.
you should maybe like amplify your personality a little bit, like not in a way that you're being fake, but more so if you know there are certain good aspects of your personality, pull those out on the first date. Make a good impression if
Yeah.
you're interested, but be yourself. Like if you're going to be a fake ass bitch, then the next time you go on a date, you're going to be so tired because you're going to have to keep it up.
Agreed. Yeah. No, like just not being yourself is the most hardest thing to do, because then, like you said, you have to keep it up. And
yeah,
I'm telling you now, eventually the true colors will come out. So I agree with that. Always be yourself. And if that person feels connected to you and likes you, at least you know it's for who you really are, right?
Exactly. And like I understand it's easy to be shy and awkward on a first date, and it's hard to be yourself if you're like someone that's very reserved. But like if that's who you are, then be reserved. That's okay, because that's not going to change. So if you're not compatible with someone who can't take you when you're reserved and shy, then I don't know if that's the person for you. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I agree.
if they're compatible with you, they'll try to break you out of that, and you'll get comfortable enough that you will. But if you never get to the point of being comfortable, then I just don't think that's going to go too far, because if you're compatible, that would probably happen pretty early on, in my opinion.
Yeah. I can see that.
But you'll figure that out later on in dating. But speaking of that, what do you think the stages of dating are? There's obviously like different phases and like levels to it. So what do you consider the levels to be?
There's 4 stages. The talking stage, the seeing each other stage, the dating stage, and in a relationship.
Mm-hmm. So talking stage.
Yeah, so the talking stage, I think it's pretty much like it's the beginning, obviously, where you're just kind of getting to know each other. You show that there's interest, but you're also like trying to discover the person in general, like seeing who they are, what they like, and it's more like building, I would say, a friendship at that point, just to see if you're compatible, right? If you and that person vibe, and if you guys have mutual things in common, things like that.
Yeah, talking stage is very non-committal. So you could be in the talking stage with 6 people at once, and I don't think there's an issue with that, because you don't owe this person any type of commitment. You're literally just getting to know them. I feel like the talking stage is kind of like an interview process. You know how like you interview 10 people and then you give a couple people a second interview and then you just narrow it all down? I think it's like just like a job interview. Like that's really what talking is. You're just talking to people. So then there's the stage of seeing each other, which is when you talk to people and you're like, oh, yeah, no, we're seeing each other. Yeah, I'm seeing this person. Yeah. What do you think that is?
Like, you know their name. Yeah, I think so, too. Like, the seeing stage is more like you've gone out a bit. You got to see who this person really is. You've seen whether or not you have connections and vibes that kind of, like, bring you guys together. And, like, you can, you know, kind of say you're, like, not necessarily settled with this person, but there's thoughts of like being settled
you see
with
potential.
Yeah,
so you're seeing them frequently. Like that's literally what it is. You're seeing them frequently. You know there's a vibe, but you're also still kind of feeling out, what's it called, testing out the waters. So like people know about you, but you're also not like on social media like, yeah, this is my boyfriend, like this is who I'm talking to. It's just like you're seeing each other and you know that there's something there that could end up being maybe serious.
I think the dating stage is pretty much explanatory. So you guys have gone on a couple of dates and it's more exclusive now. You know, you guys are seeing each other more often. You guys are going out. And it's kind of like you're already official, but it hasn't been approached or the question hasn't been asked.
Yeah.
It's more like we're dating, but it's not exclusive.
Yeah, I think that when you're in the dating stage, it is appropriate to be like, what are we? Are we seeing other people? Are we exclusive? Because when you're seeing each other, I don't think that I would be like, hey, are we exclusive? But when you're dating, like you can be exclusive but not be boyfriend and girlfriend. Because every time I've been in the dating stage, I've always been just for that person. And that's when I stopped talking to other people. I don't talk to them anymore. So yeah, I think this one's more exclusive because you kind of know that this is going to go somewhere. But you're still, I think that usually you're unsure of what the other person wants, and that's why the dating phase goes on for too long before you're in a full-on relationship, which is the final stage. Well, I guess marriage is the final stage, but yeah, this is like a boyfriend and girlfriend situation. Like obviously there's girlfriend, boyfriend, but we are 2 straight females talking about straight relationships, and this is exclusive. You have titles, you have roles, you are together. So when you're boyfriend and girlfriend, when you're in a relationship, do you think that somebody needs to ask the question, or can it just be like, oh yeah, we're boyfriend and girlfriend now, like it's just kind of assumed and it's just a thing?
I mean, it can be for some people. Personally, I think the question should be asked because the thing is too, like, you want to be clear on that. Like, you guys are exclusive because then you don't want things to, like, linger and, like, you're thinking that it's exclusive, but the question really hasn't been asked, so maybe he's feeling or thinking differently.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like there has to be that like, pronounce that you guys are boyfriend and girlfriend. Like, it has to be clear.
I think so too. I 100% agree. It needs to be out there. Like, I remember in my last relationship, one day he just started calling me girlfriend, like referring to me as, I was like, wait, what? Like, I was like, huh? Like, I didn't get the memo, because like obviously that's what I wanted, but like I didn't know. So when he started using that word, I was like, I put him in check. I was like, no, you need to ask me, because in any, like, that to me is like, you need to make it clear to me, and you need to ask me, and I need to say yes, like a proposal. But like, I feel, I mean, I'm being a little dramatic, but like, I feel like you don't want anyone guessing. So, I mean, hey, if you're a female, you can ask someone to be your boyfriend. Would I do that? Fuck no. But anybody can ask anyone. I just think it needs to be talked about.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like the question definitely has to be asked in order for you guys to both be on that same page and know that it's official. So, yeah.
How long are you willing to wait? Like, how long would you stay in the dating stage before you're like, okay, when are you going to ask me to be your fucking girlfriend? Like, how long is too long for you?
That's a good question. How long is too long? I feel like only one can tell when it's too long. Like, it's hard because some relationships develop quicker than others. Like, sometimes it takes a while for you to feel comfortable with that person and to be opened up. Like, for you to open up to that person and feel comfortable, right? And I don't know. I feel like deep down a person will know when it's too long. Like, if you guys feel official and the question still hasn't been asked, that's when you know it's too long.
Yeah.
Like, you pretty much are exclusive, but nobody has asked or talked about the topic. So, sometimes that could be a year, sometimes that can be less. Personally, I feel like if you've gone on a couple of dates and you guys are already dating and you feel comfortable, then it should be asked. But I don't really have a timeline in which it's too long. I just feel like if you know it's too long, it's too long.
Yeah, I think it's really dependent on everybody's own relationship, because I don't know, for me, I don't like to rush things like that. And with my situation, it took a while, but I was okay with that. Like, I wasn't like waiting and waiting, like, oh my God, like, why aren't I a girlfriend yet? Like, I appreciate when time is given to something like that, because I feel like it's very, I don't know, I feel like it's very serious for me. So I don't get too impatient with it. I mean, if we're a year in and nothing's been discussed, then there are some problems. It's like, okay. But it depends on the relationship. It really does.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Because like I said, some develop quicker than others, you know. Yeah. Sometimes you're with someone for a week. Yeah, it's true.
They live, they meet each other, they date, their boyfriend and girlfriend, and they're moved in 2 months. And I'm like, whoa. And if that works for them, it works for them. But like, for me, I just think that if I'm realizing that I'm doing all the things that a girlfriend is doing, and you can't even give me that, like, that full-on commitment and that role, and you have that role and that commitment as well, then I think that there's a little issue there. So like, why am I committed to you? Why am I exclusive with you? But I'm not even your girlfriend.
Yeah.
You know? So I think if everything's moving slow, then it's okay.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So seeing as Brenda and I are on different pages, I'm single, she's in a committed relationship, we thought it might be interesting to kind of talk about some things that are positive about each one. Should we do pros and cons, or just pros? I think pros and cons.
I think I'm just going to do pros, because my person
Right. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, so Brenda, what are 3 good things about being in a relationship? Like, what are the major pros?
The major pros, number 1 would be obviously that you have your person. So, you know, like, whenever you want to talk about something or vent, or you feel down, or even like you want to like go out, you know, you have that one person, like that person that, you know, no matter what, they're down. Like, they're down for you. Like, whether it's to listen to you vent and talk for like an hour, or whether it's you want to go for like, you know, dinner and just grab a movie after, you know that they'll always be down. I think that's the first thing.
I think mine is okay, if I'm gonna be honest, being single is not fun. I'm just gonna be really honest. Like, I realized while being single that I'm a relationship person. I'm not someone that wants to like hole around and like talk to multiple guys and have my fun, but there are definitely pros. And I would say one of the things that I do like is that I don't have to answer to anyone. So, I mean, as much as I liked having that person, I also can appreciate that, like, I don't have to have my phone on all the time. I can just turn my phone off and tune out and ignore everyone, and it's not a problem because I'm someone that likes to isolate myself at times, which is, like, not the best, but I do it. And I like that I don't have to constantly update someone on where I'm going, what I'm doing, all of that stuff. Do I mind doing it in a relationship? No, I don't mind, but I can also appreciate that I don't have to do that right now. And I'm literally just living for me, and I don't have to answer to anyone except my father and my mother, and I don't live with them. So it's really just me. That's one of my main ones. What's another one for you?
I think another one for me would be, I guess, knowing that I have that other person to, like, comfort me during, like, bad times. So, like, for example, like, there's things that, like, yeah, I can talk to my sister about or my brother, but, like, this person is, like, your other half. Like, you're,
it's a different type of comfort.
Yeah, like, you're comfortable saying anything and everything. So knowing that I can say whatever I want and not feel judged by this person, I think that's, like, such a great thing to have, because there's times where you go to a friend or you go to a family member, but you know deep down, like, there might be some judgment, or, like, they might feel some type of way.
Yeah.
But this person, they won't judge you, and they're, like, comfortable listening to what you have to say. So I think that's a really good thing to have.
It is, really is. Another one for me is being single is good because it gives you the time to obviously focus on yourself and go internal. So especially if you're, like, processing a breakup, or you've realized that you have some traits that you're not really proud of, then it gives you all the time to go internal without having to, like, I don't know, for example, like, my routines in the morning used to be very different. It would consist of, you know, calling my partner, and, like, it was fine. It was great. But also, like, if I was about to meditate, I would still answer my phone and want to talk to him. You know what I mean? So, like, now I have that time to really go internal and journal in the morning and meditate and do all the things that I need to do to really, like, focus on me and better myself. And I know that the next time I'm in a relationship, I will commit to that and prioritize myself. But, like, before I wasn't doing that. You know what I mean? Like, I would answer the phone. I would cancel my plans with myself to go out with that person. Like, yeah. And I think that's what really took away from bettering myself. So, yeah, I have the time now. So that's good.
I think the third point would be that you have someone for pretty much anything. Like, if you have a wedding to go to, an event, you know you have that person. Yeah. There's that consistency of, like, another person there for you. Whether it's, you know, an event you're going to, or just coming home to, and just, you know, having that person to flicks and chill, and, like, you know, like, the consistency of just having another person in your life.
Drag them out to a function. They're like a security blanket, I feel.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's like what you were saying in that episode with, like, that situation with the friends that you didn't get along with, that you weren't compatible with. You had your boyfriend there.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, in any situation that you have a person who you can count on.
Yeah, I think that's always good. Lastly, for me, I would say that being single, I think it's beneficial for me right now because I'm working on, like, making connections with people because of my career. So I think it's nice to be able to do that, like, guilt-free. Before, I think I would stop myself from certain opportunities because, like, it was a male that I just felt like, I don't really want to go into that. Not that it was ever a problem, like, at all. There was no jealousy in that relationship. I just, like, I felt bad because I was like, I just feel bad, right? But now I just feel like I'm able to kind of reach out to people, make connections and stuff like that. But also, like, you also know that you don't have that conflict to worry about. Like, you go to sleep knowing that no one's going to argue with you. You're not getting cheated on. You're not, you know, like, you know, when you're in a relationship and they can either make you the happiest person in the world or if you feel like the world is ending, like, you're either so happy or you're so down because, like, they have the ability to make or break your happiness in a second. And I just feel like it's very peaceful knowing that, like, right now nobody can do that but me. And that's peaceful. But, I mean, is being a relationship worth it? Yeah. But I'm okay. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I think like, since we're talking about that, I feel like that's a good point to talk to people about. Like, once you get out of a relationship, I think it's super important to just kind of reflect on what happened in your relationship, where you can fix things before getting into another one. Because that's the last thing you want to do, is just have a rebound. Because then if you do start to have like chemistry and want something with this person, deep down you're always going to think like, was this feeling mutual? Did I actually want to, you know, take this to the next level? Because you haven't really let your heart heal from the first relationship. So
I agree.
I know I have a couple of friends. Yeah, I have a couple of friends who sometimes are very iffy when is the right time to start a new relationship after they get out of one. So I think only you will know once you feel ready, when is the right time.
I agree. Okay, so since everything's so stressful right now and everybody's fucking going crazy over this virus, which is justifiable, we wanted to make you guys laugh. So we asked you guys to send in some funny dating horror stories. Yeah, so we asked you guys to send in horror stories. We did this on Instagram. So if you ever want to be a part of an episode, follow our Instagram, Let's Get Real the podcast. But we do have some funny ones today. So I guess, Brenda, you can start off with some of yours.
Okay, so yeah, we posted pretty much for you guys to send us questions. So we got a couple. I had some response. So one of them was, I went out on a date with blank, and at the end, he split our bills down to chocolate milk that I drank. He took the bill, waitress gave us the bill, expecting him to pay, and he's like, so you had the chocolate milk. I was mortified. If you're gonna ask someone on a date, it's your responsibility to pay. If I asked him, I would have paid. Yeah, so pretty much she went on this date with this guy, and when the bill came, he pretty much was like splitting it to the point where she bought the milk,
like the
and
chocolate
he was like,
milk?
you're paying for that.
Like, he couldn't just get the chocolate milk. Oh, I know. My God, that's so embarrassing. I just feel like, yeah, if you ask her, then I feel like you should definitely take responsibility and pay.
So, yeah, it's kind of crazy. I mean, it's kind of like on one of our episodes, should a man be expected to provide? I don't necessarily think the guy has to pay for the date, but I mean, to the point where you're splitting the chocolate milk, I feel like if you're gonna split the bill, just be like, you know what, we got pretty much almost the same, so let's just split it in half.
Like, if
but
you
the fact that you're
two,
teeing off like, oh, but you got this, but you got that, and it's just like, all right, so like, at that point you should have just asked for a separate bill.
Like, do better.
Like, if you have to be like splitting to the point where it's the milk, I feel like just go to the waitress and say, hey, can you split our bill? Because it just kind of looks, for $2. Well, how much was the milk? Like $2-3?
Anyways, so this one sent in, and this girl said, one time I was at a group dinner with a guy and it got really awkward. At the end of the dinner, there was a massive bowl of corn. He asked if anyone was going to eat it, and we all said no, so he grabbed a massive spoon and just took all the corn while saying, I really like corn, over and over again. I could not keep a straight face. What the fuck? Who loves corn that much? I would be so turned off. Like, come on. Have some class.
That's hilarious.
At a group dinner. Oh, wait, a group dinner. So I don't know if this was a date for her. I don't know if it was like double date or whatever. But like, that's fucking weird. Corn.
I mean, the man loves his corn.
What the fuck? That's so strange.
I got another one. It said, went on a date. At one point, I sat on his lap and I forgot I had my period and bled through on his pants. That is fucking nasty. I would kill myself.
I would be mortified. Oh my God. No.
Oh God, that's traumatizing. Especially because like it's not even a chair. You can't even say like that wasn't you. Like, who else sat on his lap, bro?
Oh my God. And like
that's
worst.
Disgusting.
But the thing is, like, if you're on your period, wouldn't you like just not sit on someone's lap that has light pants on? Or is that just me? Maybe she didn't know.
No, let's give her the benefit of the doubt. When I'm on my monthly thing, I just don't want to be near anybody. Don't touch me. Don't look at me. Nothing.
Yeah, right? Oh, my God. I'd be mortified. Bro. Oh, my God. Okay, here's another one. So she said, he took me out for some Greek food in Toronto and then the VIP theater. Things were going great so far, but I started seeing a feminine side. You know, he looked manly, but acted very polite and gentle. Don't know how to explain it. So then the movie finishes and we go into his car on the highway. He starts jamming to Euro dance techno music. Then he proceeds to ask me if I like to listen to Taylor Swift. I said I'm not a big fan, but some of her songs are decent. Then he jams out to Taylor Swift in the car and told me he has VIP tickets to the Taylor Swift concert with a group of his gal pals. He walks me to the front porch and tries to lean in for a kiss. I was scarred for life. My eye is still twitching to this day. Oh my God. That's some corny ass shit. I don't know. That seems, I'm not trying to like stereotype anyone, but that seems a little feminine for me. I'd be a little bit put off with that.
I don't even know what to say to that.
Like gal like, pals?
Yeah, like maybe he was just experimenting on a date. I don't know. Like I don't even know what to say.
Who says gal pals as a male? I'm sorry. That's I don't even say gal pals.
Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. Just say like I'm going out with some girls, like
with some homies. I don't need to know. Why do you have VIP Taylor Swift? I'm not judging. Okay, next one.
All right. This one is first date. Went for a drive. My date threw up all over my car. Gave her my shirt to clean herself.
Oh my god. So now you're shirtless and your car smells like vomit.
Okay. Like this is one thing for me. I have really bad gag reflexes. So if I heard or smelled anything, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to cut that date off.
Yeah.
Like, no disrespect. Maybe she was, she came down with a really bad flu or something. Like, I'm not, like, judging. Like, we all throw up. But it's just, I personally could never.
I could never.
But good for him. The fact that he gave her a shirt, that was kind of gentleman of him.
Hopefully they're married today.
Yeah, and this is something they just look past, like...
You know that happened to Miguel and Nazneen? On their first date, she got so drunk, she just, like, threw up everywhere. And he took care of her and, like, held her hair and stuff. And now they're married.
That is so sweet. That kind of happened to me one time, too. I remember I got pretty drunk one night, and I stayed over at my boyfriend's. And, yeah, he was really nice about it. But it's just, I can't. Like, when I see, hear, or smell throw up, it's just, like, no.
So gross. Ugh.
I can't. Like, I cannot.
This one says, I went on a blind date and it ended up being my biology teacher.
What?
I don't know how the fuck that happens. Who set that up?
Well, I don't think they set it up. I think they just said, let's go out and...
No. She said I went on a blind date. Someone set it up.
Date.
Yeah. Because, like, if you're on a dating app, you'd see it's your teacher. So someone must have set it up. Imagine pulling up and it's your fucking teacher. Oh, my God.
That's so weird. But, I mean, weird. It's very common. I've heard a lot of people, like, students liking their teachers. It's, like, a thing.
Yeah, there was a girl that I don't know at all, but, like, I have friends that have talked about her, and she was at the school next to mine or whatever, or, like, close to mine. And she had this teacher in high school, and they're married now. Isn't that fucked?
Yeah.
Yeah, so weird.
I mean, then there's that Pretty Little Liars, the girl dated
Yeah, that was weird. I forgot about that. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Oh.
Or like Riverdale with the teacher hooking up with Archie.
I had never seen that.
Yeah,
but,
it's like the first episode, like first season or second episode. I don't know.
Thank you. I'll go check that out. Right. Okay, I have one more short one. I don't know. Do you have any more?
I have one more too.
Okay, you read yours.
So this one says, first date ended up huge, and I pooped on his eggplant. Which means his penis.
Specify who, like, this is a gay man, so they're how do you say this?
They're doing anal?
Yeah, I guess you could just say it like that. Yeah, so that's interesting. That's mortifying. I feel like in high school, everyone has that story. Like, there's always that one person at the school that has the story.
Yeah, I feel like especially if you do anal.
Yeah.
That is something that usually happens.
Oh
not that I know, but I've heard stories, and I'm like,
I've heard that story a lot. Yeah, so true. Okay, my last one's really short. It's just, I used to talk to old men when I was 11, and now that I'm grown, I realize they were all pedophiles. That's great. That's amazing. Love it.
Yeah. That's young.
Yeah, that's fucked. But like, I think we were all on the internet when we were too young to be on the internet, talking to people. True. You know. Yeah. I definitely did that.
There's a lot of creeps out. There's a lot of creeps out there.
There are. Ugh. But yeah, anyways, that was our episode. Those are all of the things that you guys sent in. If you guys want to be featured in an episode anonymously, send us your DMs.
Yes. Don't forget, our Instagram account is Let's Get Real the Podcast. Mm-hmm. We're happy to answer any type of questions or stories you want to share, because there's times where we do share stories. So this was one of them.
Mm-hmm. And then you can check us out on YouTube. Our YouTube channel is Let's Get Real Podcast. You can subscribe there. Please subscribe to us. We're trying to get to 100 subscribers on there.
don't forget to give us a review and a like on our Apple podcast.
Yeah, we haven't said that in a while. Also, guys, if you have a single friend right now that's new to the dating scene and needs some advice, send him or her this episode. Put them on. Give them our wisdom. Bless them with our wisdom. Send them the episode. Don't be selfish.
Again, share it to your neighbors, your quarantine partner.
Your quarantine partner. Yeah, if you're in quarantine, binge our shit. Binge it.
Yes, there's 10 episodes now.
Oh my God, there's 10 episodes. Whoa, that's crazy. Wow. But anyways, thank you guys so much for listening. We hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Sorry if it was a little different than usual. We are recording differently, as we said, so bear with us. But thanks for listening.
Might be a little short this time, too. And, keep safe, guys. I know it's really bad out there, but, try to keep busy. Try to have fun and
in your home.
Isolate yourself. Keep positive. Hopefully all this will end soon and we can all go back to our normal routines. So, fingers crossed. Yep. And that's all for today, I guess.
Yep. Thanks for listening once again, and we'll be back next week.
Bye.
Bye.